back to the Raw Grass podcast. Today we have OG Jason Morris. You are a pro still?
No.
Rides.
No,
as you can tell.
Used to be pro. Did that from 2005, the end of 2005 to 2011. I raced pro.
Oh. Well, okay, I would say like you're still super good.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you keep at anything you do for a long time, you're going to be good at it, right?
I hope.
Yeah.
Well, no. So you know, I wanted to sit with Jason because I've known him for a while, and I used to ride as well, and you know, for who you are, for what things you could do as in jumps, like crazy stuff. I'm like, okay. I want to, you know, still learn from you, because now you have kids and a wife and stuff and a house, which is awesome, you know, because I'm not sure if it's the same for you, but as I was growing up, I'm like, hey, I just want to be on a bike. I didn't even worry about the future, right? We're just wild.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
He's like, and, you know, of course, he has... you got a snap neck. It's not like broken, because if I think broken neck, I'm like, hey, it snapped in half. But you were saying, how did it happen?
Yeah, so I broke my neck. I actually compressed fractured my C7 vertebrae, which is considered a broken neck. So it could have been a lot worse. I had a malfunction on my bike happen at the biggest race that we have in America, which is the Grand Nationals, USA BMX Grand Nationals. So, it happened during practice. So I didn't even make it to the rounds, didn't make it even to racing. I was pretty much on my last practice lap, which it happened on, and my forks just snapped on me. It didn't happen on a landing or over clearing, it happened right off the lip. So it was out of my hands. I couldn't really control it, so it took me out. So I'll be out for quite some time, just healing. I'll be in this funny looking neck collar for a while. So.
I would have that and look funny than compared to not being around, because
no doubt.
Yours is bad, but you know, you've seen worse, and how you were saying if it would have went through the front, you would have nerve damage and maybe paralyzed, which is no bueno. Dang, but yeah, that's no joke.
Yeah. So, but I mean, crashes happen. It's part of the sport, right?
Yeah. So you know, we are all happy that you're still here.
Well, thanks.
Awesome guy.
Glad to be here.
Right. And so like again, mainly I just want to stay with him to help you guys on what he does for his sport, because when I was riding, I'm like, hey, I would say I was somewhat good, but at the same time I was okay. I want to be sponsored. I want to, you know, like by Vans or Monster, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure it's harder nowadays because you got like a lot of people doing crazy stuff. I'm like, I would not, no, that, you know. So at the same time, let's just hop into that. How did you, I guess, were like, hey, I want to jump on a bike? Was it something you seen young, or was it like mom and dad, hey, like, I used to do it, so you need to do it? Is that?
No, I mean, I was just out, I saw the kids out in the fields when I was younger, jumping their bikes, building jumps, and I thought it was the coolest thing. So I was always asking my parents to go to the jumps, and just any bike I had a Batman bike that turned into a GT dyno that was borrowed from a cousin or a family friend or something. So I was just romping on that thing and always going there. And I just bugged my dad for a long time, like, can you take me to the track? Can you take me to the track? I was even pretending I was pretending that I was at the track, a racer. I had my dad make a number plate for me, put a number plate on, acted like I was a racer. People were asking, oh, where do you race at? Where do you race at? And I was like, I don't know of any tracks. So I was like, oh, I was born in Lakewood. Oh yeah, Lakewood. Oh, there's a track in Lakewood? Yeah, there's a track in Lakewood. And I'm like 8 years old, you know, at the jumps with these older guys, and I just wanted to race. And then finally my dad took me to the track, and it was like, yeah, I never looked back. It was always at the track. And back then it was kind of like, to get sponsorship and stuff, is kind of results based, you know, how good you were and how you did at competitions, and that's kind of proving your grounds on where you're at. So that's how you were getting sponsorships. But nowadays it's social media and just representing yourself and how you represent yourself. You don't necessarily have to be the best guy out there doing triple backflips, whips, and who knows, quadruple 360s, whatever, you know. It's like, it's insane what guys are doing, but ultimately it's kind of how you represent yourself on social media is what sponsors look at nowadays. And it's like, they want to sell bikes, they want to sell product, and it's like, how are you selling products? Are you selling products by doing these crazy tricks? Yeah, but how do you represent yourself, you know, in the limelight of other people, kids, and other fans, you know? So it's crazy. Things have shifted so much to get sponsored. It's not so much how you do and results based. It's kind of how you look and how you represent yourself on social media, how you put yourself out there.
Wow.
So it's a big part.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure when we were in it, it was I would say when we were in it, there was no YouTube, no Instagram, no maybe MySpace.
No, and we would rarely, MySpace, yeah, it was, but it was rarely you're going out there filming yourself. We were doing so much crazy stuff, and there was no camera on site.
Yeah,
like
old school.
Like,
the one, and you had the eye.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Or if you were taking photos, you did have a photo, and it was like click. Oh, I got you on the landing. I didn't even get you in the air doing the trick, you know? So it was like, things were so much different back then, and we never even thought about it. But nowadays, I mean, even you were a great rider back in the day. You were the foo-fa-noo master, you know? This guy can come up off a lip and foo-fa-noo his back tire on anything, whether it be a wall, a freaking house, or whatever it was. You know, you could foo-fa-noo and come back in all the time. So we had a nice tight-knit group from high school that we had some good riders with us, you know. Not that everybody pursued it, you know, in the long term, but we all had fun.
Yeah, like you have all these bikes, and SE, good job.
Yep, SE Racing, they've been a sponsor for quite some time now. And obviously they take care of me, so I'm very grateful to be in the position I am, because like I said, I'm not the best at what I do. I'm not number one in the world at what I do, and I'm a jack of all trades when it comes to bicycles, whether it be wheelies, racing, jumps, skate parks, or anything like that. You know, I can have fun doing it, and I'm very grateful that SE supports me doing it.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
SE, you're awesome.
Yep. So.
And as in say, if you want, because I know him, I want a bike as well. So. Yeah, they're like, okay, who is this guy? And I don't know. Nah, we're good. No, it's all good. No, that's super cool. Yeah, because when I would say I first met you, I'm not exactly sure where it was, but I would say that after a while of knowing you, like a couple of our friends would go to your house to go to the jumps. Like, hey, do you want to go to the jumps? Right, and you were just out, out up on the road. You're doing sprints. And I was like, bro, what is this fool doing? This fool is sprinting. I'm like, oh yeah, he's a racer, right? So I've been told you are heavy on sprints. Makes sense, because all you guys do is sprint for like a minute up to a point.
Well, yeah, 30, 40 second lap times, you know what I mean? So, and it's only one lap, so it takes a lot out of you. So we are sprinters, you know, if you want to say that. So But I mean, in any sport you're doing, you got to be putting in work, right? Training, stuff that you don't really want to do, but you got to do. And sprints is one of them. Sprints is just one of those things that, I mean, I'm still doing the same sprints I was doing when I was 12 years old, and now I'm 30. I'm about to be 35 years old. So and I'm still doing the same stuff out here getting. I mean, I'll get out in my front yard in the street, and I'm sure. Well, now people know by now like what I'm doing, but before it's like, what is this guy doing? This guy's just going up and down the street. He's got a helmet.
He's got a full face on.
Yeah. Well, what is this guy doing? But no, sprints is just one of the aspects of many things that, you know, gym work and plyometrics and track and gates and just all the stuff we do. But sprints is the most, you know, it's you got to keep doing it no matter what. It's not like, oh, I'm good at sprints, I don't need to do sprints anymore.
It's like you got to jump a jump.
Yeah, it's just one of those monotonous things. You got to continue to put the work in, and nothing comes overnight, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you gotta stay consistent. And I don't care what you do in life, you know, if you just stay consistent, putting in the work, you're gonna get good at it. You know, just how fast you get good at it and how quickly that comes to you is everybody's different. But yeah,
that is so true, you know. And I've learned there's certain ways to, I guess, sprint fast, because like for me, I wasn't showed how to, I guess, ride a bike, but I know for a fact there's certain ways you can do. You can put the weight on the front, the weight on the back to get more traction off the front. You know, all that extra stuff. Because I remember we were in Fontana. This is way back in the day. Yeah. It was across the street from I don't know. It was like a store. It was like jumps.
Yeah. In the dirt field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was me and some, I don't know, it's like some friends, and you, and I think your brother as well.
Yeah, probably.
I think so. You know, I was just out and about, and I would say that day I was having a great day, and I'm like, okay, shit, these are big, like these are real big, but and spaced. So I'm like, okay, I want to try these. And I would just like it, like, and it was flat. There was no slope where you just cruise in and jump. You had to crank, right? So, you know, us, you know, just the not knowing how to do it right, we would just pedal. We would just be and then we would jump in, just come up short every time. We would have to bail it, and then like I just see him. He just like, yeah, these are fine. Just comes up. You would crank hard. You would just kind of chill. You would coast. Okay, cool. Crank a little bit, and just every time I'm like, how? What is this? This makes no sense. So with that, you know, how do you kind of see, as in, you know, being out and about to go, like either up to you or somebody who knows actually how to ride and ask for help, or, you know?
I mean, like I was just the racer, you know. Probably out of all you guys who were struggling on the jumps, probably didn't race, you know.
No.
So I think the racing all plays hand in hand to anything you're doing on a bike. So I think getting the speed and stuff like that really helped me. But I started, like I said before, like I started in the jumps. I started asking my parents, hey, can I go over to the jumps with the other kids and learn how to jump? And that's how I learned how to jump. That's how I learned how to build jumps, and that's where the skills got me. And then the track, the racing part got me the speed. So I got the speed, and now the jumps, hitting the jumps and stuff like that, prepared me for the track jumps, because as you know, with the track, everything's rollable. You can roll everything, right? So you got to learn how to manual or learn how to jump things, and me already coming from the fields with all the kids learning how to jump, that skill was kind of already there, and then the racing kind of got me the speed, and it all worked together. So
you, I guess, well, I meet a lot of people now. They're like, oh, I want to race first and then jumps. So you
sure, people are different.
Kind of went that way, which is just super cool.
Well, yeah, because it was accessible. It was in my neighborhood, which is crazy because growing up in Menifee, you have so many top athletes who came from this area, especially in these type of sports. You got motorcycles. We have, I mean, you could come up with so many names for motorcycles who lived out in that area. Yep. But BMX too. We had a good scene we had some top riders who came from Menifee area, and that's where when I saw these jumps out in the fields, there was a few of these top riders, and I can't even think of their names anymore. They're probably out of the sport now. But me, as a little kid, I started going to these jumps, and that's what got my skill, seeing these bigger kids, and I was like, I want to jump these jumps like these big kids,
That's cool.
So I mean, you remember Piggies and Happy Trails.
Ooh,
and
back in the day.
Yeah, those are big. Menifee, if you guys know those names, then you know what I'm talking about, because those are big trails that we had in our area. The Grove and Elsinore and Ostrich Farm, and those were some big jumps in the area. And we traveled to them, and we always knew older people who may have drove us around to get to those jumps. Yeah. Or we rode our bikes wherever we could.
Deep.
Deep. We would ride far just to get to these jumps. I remember riding far just having a shovel on my handlebars.
Oh, yeah.
As a kid, you're riding everywhere with a shovel on your handlebars. But yeah.
Yeah, that was the fun days. And at the same time, weren't really thinking about going pro yet.
Not at all. It was just a fun thing. You're at school, and it was like, what are you doing after school? Oh, we're going out to the field. Oh, did it rain, the week before or whatever? Ooh, we got good dirt. We're going right after school. Yep. We need to start building, because we know in California we don't get much rain. So when it rained, we had some fresh dirt to work with in the fields. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we just go far and far, and you get I would say you got a lot of people nowadays. Yeah. They're like, oh, it's too far, I can't do it. Which I guess it makes sense if you have a car or whatever. Like, bro, just hop in the car. It's because now you would get there sooner, and you won't be exhausted.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we got here.
But it's different now. You can't do it anymore, because they're building houses, and they're building so much, and with lawsuits and more stuff. I mean, it's California. Everybody sues everybody. So if anybody sees a fat set of trails that are nice in a random lot, especially if it's not their lot and the owner catches wind of it or whatever, or if there's anybody leaves trash anywhere, like Bundy Canyon jumps, the city's gonna come and plow them down. And that happened numerous times. Even as a kid, it happened numerous times. And guess what? We went out there the week after, and we were building jumps again until it maybe lasts a year, maybe lasts a few months, and then they come back, the tractor, and tear them down again. So. But nowadays it's a little harder, and now you're going to see more trails at people's properties or houses, and that's the goal. Always been my goal to get a house with some property. But
you do in the back. You got one.
Yeah, I got a little pump track. It is really cool, but it is flooded right now with the rains. But but yeah, I'll have to show you that. But so so that's how.
That's awesome. So, how did you get sponsored?
It was just persistence in racing and putting in the results. And I was getting maybe some coverage here and there in the magazine, because back then it was, magazine coverage that was showing you off to other people, and how you get a name and get your name out there. And I was getting good results, and I was, there's some people, local people, and at the time, I went through some mom and pop teams and some bike shop teams, and then landed a factory team with Free Agent and IE Bikes.
Yes.
And IE Bikes was a local bike shop who is located in Marietta, and they lasted a while, and I was on that team, and then just kind of progressed from there, and just stuck with it and worked hard, and I never thought I'd be in the position where I am today, being an older guy, not a pro, but I'm getting the most I've ever gotten in the BMX industry than I ever have, which is crazy. I was racing pro, like I said, to 2011, got some injuries, broke my collarbone really bad, and I started coming back and started thinking about, there's no money in this sport. So I was like, what do I need to do? I don't want to prolong my life and my career. I need to start thinking about something. So I was going to school, trying to get a better job, and and that's where different names came. Another long story. We can get into that too. Whenever you want to get into that. But where Dickcheeseburger came into play.
Yeah.
But
that's weird.
But yeah, so I stopped. But no. So long story short, I stopped racing pro, and I went back to school, and then I started working and stuff like that, and took about a 4-year off hiatus of just focusing on me, responsibilities, being a grown up, type
Yay!
thing. Yay. And took some time off, and then I started getting content, and I was like, I want to go back racing, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go pro. I'm going to go back as amateur and just have fun with it. And it brought so much more fun. It wasn't about trying to get the paycheck, trying to get the money. It was just about having fun on my bike. And I started enjoying the process. I started enjoying training. I started enjoying the process, enjoying myself more. And in turn, I started doing better. And then ended up getting back with SE bikes, and then just getting way more being an amateur than I was being a pro. I was very good main maker, very consistent pro. I wasn't winning all the time. I won some races, and I was always in the mains though. I was top 8 all the time, 5th, 6th all the time. But the 5th, 6th all the time wasn't as good as me winning the amateur class. So when I was an amateur and I started winning that class, it was like I was getting more recognition, more I guess more publicity, I guess you could say.
Okay.
But I was getting more looked at. I was more beneficial to a sponsor winning in my class than I was.
Exposure.
More exposure than I was in professional, getting some good score, 5th, 6th, 4th, 3rds, whatever. But that just didn't look as good as winning amateur, I guess. But
he sucks,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a weird thing, and I always tell people, me going back amateur was the best thing I ever did for my career. Like, I guess if you want to call it a career. It's not my livelihood. My livelihood is what I do for my daytime job.
Yeah.
And this is it. It is a hobby, but I work hard for this hobby. Like, it's still fun.
Yeah.
And I got to keep it fun, but I do put in work that's not so much fun. But yeah.
Of course.
So.
Yeah, it's like, jobs, let's do something we don't want to do, but yet we have all this extra stuff. And if you're sponsored by somebody like SE, which is awesome, and again, a bike, I'm just going to put... No, he's like, bro, stop.
No, it's good. Good plug.
Wow, that's if you just kind of, I guess, if you just want to sit back and kind of see all the stuff that you did, all that hard work, it does pay off.
Yeah.
You got people like, oh, I've been in it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah.
Like how you're saying, you're older now and you're doing so much more.
Yeah, it's been awesome, dude. Bicycles take you places, man. It's crazy the places I've been all across the country, and dude, some of the places Essie's been sending me just to do wheelies on my bike, just to do ride outs, like,
and you be like,
dude, smashing beers and just having fun, and just, gosh, it's honestly, it's made it hard when I go from those type of things. Then I got to go to a big race, and it's like, oh, I got to put in the work now. I got to go back and really work my butt off to be decent at these races. So it has been a fine line to go out wheelie my bike in places like Colombia and stuff, being sent out there to do that with Marshawn Lynch and doing some fun stuff. But dude, it's been a blessing, and I'm very grateful because there's so much more guys. I'm good at what I do, but there's so much more guys that are better at what at what I do. But it's all about having fun. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the hair too.
The hair's crazy right now. I'm about to get a haircut.
Let's see it right now on camera.
Well, no, I'm about to get it.
Woo!
Look at this mop, bro.
Look at that.
She dirty. She dirty. But dude, I've never grown my hair out this long ever in my life, and I'm just kind of at that point where I just got lazy, and I'm just like, hey, let's just see how long I can grow it. But I think I'm getting a cut today. Like, no joke. I think I'm cutting my hair, and
we're like at home or at a spot.
Well,
a barber.
No, the wife. The wife's gonna cut it. It's cheaper and easier. But no, she'll cut my hair, and but no, I don't know if you know, but I always wear a wig when Dickcheeseburger's out on the premises.
It looks like
I tell everybody it's real, so I'm kind of giving away secrets. So if the whole world sees this podcast, because they know,
should.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, because they're gonna watch Jay Lynn's podcast. So if they see this, they're gonna know the real deal, the real secret. I wear a wig. But I always get people that are like, is that real hair? And I'm like, yeah, it's real. They're like, no way. I'm like, yeah, it's crazy, huh? And they're like, yeah. No, it's not. But yeah, it's all fun, and that started as a separate deal that took off in a different way. But
Yeah,
that
I
I
was
thought,
like,
but yeah.
I know him. I think.
Yeah.
Isn't oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. So that name,
Yeah.
the Dickcheeseburger.
Yeah.
How did it come?
It's not the coolest storyline, but yeah, I mean, so social media was starting to take over, like I said, and it was like, okay, I'm riding for SE Bikes. I need to start posting, and I'm not a big social media, like I don't like it. I don't like doing the Facebook and all that crap, and
it's a lot of work.
Well, it's not. I just don't like showing my whole life. Like if you want to know anything in my life or how the kids are doing and stuff like that, text me. You got my phone number, type thing. You know, send me some photos. But I didn't like just publicly announcing that stuff. So at the time, it was like, okay, I'm looking for jobs with the city. I'm looking for city jobs, federal jobs. And there was one job one time with my brother-in-law. He told me to apply, so I applied. But the only thing I had on my experience was like I'm racing professional bicycles. Like that was kind of my job right out of high school. I didn't have a real career, real job. I wasn't working, anywhere. So I had to put that on my resume. And I was teaching kids, and I was, all that stuff. I was doing clinics and stuff like that, training kids. So when I applied for this job, the manager went to my brother-in-law, was like, dude, we can't hire this guy. He's like, he's a professional racer, dude. That's a liability. I was like, oh crap. So people were looking at a liability. This guy gets hurt, or he could get hurt. They're like,
pay me out.
Yeah. So they initially told my brother-in-law, like, dude, we're not going to hire him. He's a liability. So he went and told me, like, dude, why'd you put that on your resume? I was like, well, I had no experience on anything, dude. I had to put something like
just blank.
Blank after high school till like whatever. What? This kid needs to get a job. Like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
So then me and my brother were talking. I was like, dude, I want to start posting and stuff like that. So when I do apply for these jobs, because they were starting to check, okay, Jason Morris, let's look him up on Facebook. Let's check him out on Instagram. Oh, what? He's a racer? Oh, he's this? So I didn't want that. So I was talking with my brother. I was like, dude, what can we think of? He goes, well, why don't you just post things, I don't know, Dickcheeseburger. And we just started laughing. We thought it was funny as hell. And at the time we had our, back in the day when you have internet, you have an internet name. So we would drive, so long story short, me and my brother would drive around and find internet with our laptops and download music. So we would just drive around and we'd be like, oh, here's an open internet. There's no password. Yeah. Oh, okay, let's do it. So at the time, our internet at our house, we named it Dickcheeseburger. And we thought it was the funniest thing because if any of the neighbors went to go to their internet password or whatever, they would see a Dickcheese. They'd be like, who's Dickcheeseburger? And we thought it was funny. So anyway, that name got brought up again. Like, why don't you just start posting under that for YouTube or anything like that? I was like, okay, that's a good idea. Let's do that. So my Instagram name and YouTube, and then I started a Facebook separate from my real name, and it went to Dickcheeseburger. So everything I posted was Dickcheeseburger. So for a long time, people did not know that Jason Morris and Dickcheeseburger was one person. And still to this day, it always happens. Like, oh, you're Dickcheeseburger? I'll be like, yeah. And I'll be in places and people have no idea. And then they'll be like, oh, you race BMX? Yeah, okay, well, what's your name? Jason Morris? Oh, hey, oh, cool, I've never heard of you, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll be like, yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard of Dickcheeseburger. Oh, yeah, I know that guy. It was like, but it's like, I just kind of lay low on it. But that's how the whole name got brought up. It was all because of my professional, just trying to get a career or get a job somewhere. I just changed my name, so if they did look up Jason Morris, they may not find any racing attached to that name, So it was more of that. Now it's not a big deal, but Dickcheeseburger turned into a completely. It was just one day I dressed up as an '80s dude.
Yeah.
I was drinking beer in my parents' backyard, and we have a little track in my parents' backyard, and I was just jumping jumps, and my name was Dickcheeseburger, and it came out as a whole character, not really a Halloween costume. Yeah. So then it became something, and then it became where all these kids at the track found out about him. They'd be like, "What's up, Mr. Cheeseburger?" And then and then as the name just started going around more and more, the announcer might announce it. Now kids are just calling me Dickcheeseburger now, and it's not like sounding like a bad word like it did so much in the beginning. and then it became into a big old following of like kids like it and other people like they like the character. So I'll dress up here and there for a race or for a ride out or things like that. So that was a long story, but yeah,
that's fine.
That's where Dickcheeseburger came.
You're welcome, everybody, for that. No, I'm kidding. Oh
But
my gosh!
That's where that came up.
So, Dickcheeseburger. No,
People always associate with Ronnie Mac, and they're like, "Oh, you're just copying Ronnie Mac." I didn't even know who Ronnie Mac was at the time. I mean, I started this in 2013, and then later on, I'd have people tag me or say, "Hey, check out this guy. Hey, this guy's doing the same stuff." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Well, I never." And they're like, "Oh, you're copying Ronnie Mac and all that." And I was like, I didn't even know who the dude was. I mean, obviously I know who he is now, but no, I didn't try to copy anybody or anything. Mac. Yeah. I didn't try to do anything like that. That's the motorcycle side of things, and I guess I'm the Ronnie Mac of BMX, but not by
hashtag. No.
Yeah. No, I didn't try to copy or take anybody's style or anything like that. But yeah, so
hey, it happens if whatever. No, I'm kidding. So.